So, being unmotivated, I was laying in bed and I was thinking, scrolling. Basically, I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking, scrolling, thinking, and fell victim to scrolling again. And what happened is I looked on my Instagram feed and just the craziest stuff can pop up. And lo and behold, is some chick doing yoga, right? Yoga, right? And it's just literally just like a super sexual position, camera angle, and all of it. It's like, oh, I'm just stretching my hips. It's like, no, you were literally trying to look like you want to get. I don't want to sound too sexual, but she looks like she wanted to get pounded with clothes on. It's like, why are you taking that angle, that picture, with the tightest spandex yoga shorts? I don't even know what to call them anymore. And I wasn't even looking for this, right? It's just like, thank God, they show me women at times on Instagram, not some dude doing that kind of thing. But when you go on the internet and you look around, and it is so much of a thirst trap, right? And it brought me to a point where it made me think, are we at like a sexual peak? Like, really think about it. Are we at a sexual peak right now in society? Because how much crazier can things really get, right? Come on. How much crazier can things get? I mean, we got people that are basically glorified prostitutes on the internet that make tons of money. We have porn so easily available, it's a joke. You can probably ask your phone, you can ask Siri, you can ask AI, hey, pull up some porn for me, and it probably won't be that hard to do. Like, we can voice activate porn. Do you know how insane that is? Like, how much further can we go? And can it get crazier? Probably. I mean, with AI and robotics and all of that coming down the pipeline pretty dang soon, there's going to be some wacky sex robots because people are so sexualized that they can't partner with one individual. And because they can't partner with one individual, they'll get to a point where they're so lonely because of age and time that they'll just buy a partner. They'll just buy a robot. Both sexes will do this. Not just men, but women too. And then they'll probably come up with some kind of crazy attachments and contraptions and who knows what. But on the physical part, like, just don't even think about the robotics or humanoids or personal robots, sex bots, whatever might come down the pipeline. At this moment, I feel like we are at a sexual peak. How much crazier can things really get? And it's such a moral dilemma. It's such a sad thing to see. And at what point do we change? I think we're coming close to it. At least the people that have a remnants of their soul left look into this world and go, this is jacked. This is messed up. Like, this isn't, it's not right. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right. And if you feel that same way, hey, kudos to you. You're still a human being. You didn't lose your soul entirely. And it's kind of scary, because you look out and you're like, this shit is jacked up. And for a lot of people, when they see that and they've been hurt by this over sexualized society, thankfully, most people find their way toward religion. And in my opinion, that's the best fix for this. I mean, if there's no boundaries or social constructs that will keep people in check, we'll go AWOL. We'll go doing some crazy shit, right? And I think the pendulum has swung so far that people are starting to say, hey, we need some normalcy in society because this shit is getting weird. It's getting too weird. Like, you ever been to a party and there's just like, everybody's getting rowdy, and at a certain point, shit just starts getting a little too weird at the party, and you're like, this is my time to go, right? I'm gonna exit because something's gonna get whacked out. Someone's gonna get crazy. I'm gonna be part of something that I don't want to be part of. Bye. See ya, right? And people are like looking at society today going, yeah, I don't want to be part of that. Nah, I'm stepping away. I'll go my own way, right? So sometimes you gotta sit back and look and go, dang, what's gonna get crazier than this? And sometimes shit does get crazy. And pardon my French, Lord have mercy on me for cussing. I'm sorry, but you know, I'm just. It just astounds me how crazy the world is today. And like, really just recording this video is just my form of expressing the thoughts that I kind of had on it. And if you're not alone and you feel like you look out into this world and you're like, WTF, right? And kudos to you, subscribe. But when you participate in the dating world, you participate in just going on social media and fall victim to this envious comparison game that we all it's in our face, you know. Everybody's life is in our faces, so we fall victim to envy so easily, you know. And it's not a good thing. It makes you feel like shit, to be straight up, especially if you had some hard times in your life or some resets. You look around and you're like, man, did I mess up? See, I caught myself. I didn't cuss. But yeah, envy is bad. And then you see all these people living their lives, or they're involved in all this like indulgences, and you know it doesn't feel right deep down. And then you look around and you're like, I don't want to be part of this world. Am I gonna be just alone? Is that gonna be a part, like a part of it? Like, I have to be isolated because it's such a rarity to not participate in this downward spiraling culture, at least in the Western world. You know, if you're watching this and you're from a different country, well, I'm in the U.S. Clearly, there's a flag, right? But yeah, the West, our culture is just so far off the edge. It's like a paper airplane on fire made out of toilet paper. It's burning quick before our eyes. So I don't know, you know. I'll be the only person on YouTube that says, I don't know. That's why, if you're new to this channel, well, I'm going to be humble and straight up to you many times and in many videos. I don't know what's coming. I don't plan to know. I'm not going to be some guru or dipshit spiritual person. It's like, you buy my course for $29.99, I'll tell you what's coming with my magic ball, right? No. Been down that road, right? But to express oneself and like share thoughts, it does make other people out there feel less alone if you are thinking within the same kind of mindset, you know? Because it's a shame, because a lot of people that go and look around and say, man, this world's messed up, it can be isolating because everybody's part of it and you don't want to be part of it. So you're like, oh man, like this sucks. I might as well just keep these thoughts to myself because who cares, right? So you don't want to isolate yourself because that's just bad, you know. Any form of isolation is bad. But in today's world, it's so easy because we work, everything's expensive, so we have to work more to cover our expenses, and then what are we left with? What time in the day, right? Literally, me right now is talking to a camera in an empty room, you know, half awake and getting ready to go to sleep. But life is just so quick. And when you have so many responsibilities that build up over time as you age, that time just goes. And before you know it, you wake up, you go to sleep, you wake up again. Before you know it, Saturday, you're like, oh, what am I going to do today? Boom. And then you're back, Monday's here, and here you are back to work again. And when you go through that routine, it's hard to maintain friendship. It's hard to maintain social obligations. Yeah, you can. Obviously, you can. Many people do. But a lot of people fall victim to the same kind of self-sabotage and hobbies. Drinking, going out, partying. That's their socializing. But the problem is, after it's said and done, they were so inebriated. Do you remember what you did? Do you remember, like, do you have memories from that activity you did? If you did, cool. You're responsible when you drink. But a lot of people aren't. They just, like, are in a daze or foggy. And I've seen it happen to so many people where it's like that's the only outlet to socialize. And I get it. Listen, I'm from a small town. I live out in the sticks in the northeast of the U.S. My town has a bar and a post office. Everything else is 30 minutes to 40-minute drives, right? Decent places that aren't ghetto or rundown or sad, or a commercial conglomerate that has like a bar in it, right? So when you are living in a situation like that, it's really hard to socialize and go out because you work, and what are you gonna hang out at the one bar in town? Like, you see the same people all the time? No. And if you're in a more populated area, hey, you're blessed because you have that variety. Maybe you have activities that you can do that can vary and be healthy activities, not just drinking. But unfortunately, for a big portion of the country in the United States, the extracurricular activities are drinking. And I lived in a number of different states, and especially in winter time when it's cold and snowy, people will tell you, you just drink. Like, what do? You go to the bar and you drink. And it's a shame, you know? So, if you don't want to participate in that, it's even more isolating. So, the biggest thing to help me, if I'm going to give some kind of tip, is if you're struggling with a lot of this deep stuff, well, find a church. Participate. I mean, I'm biased, I'm Christian. So I'm going to, lean towards that. But it's a healthy way to meet like-minded people if you're following that path. But man, it's tough out there. So I'm not acting like I got the answers. I don't. But you're not alone out there if you look into this world and you're like, it's got to come to an end. This sexual immorality has to peak at some point because it's just rotting everything. So, hope you guys enjoy this rant. Hey, if you like this video or more, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.